You are not bad at English. The problem is that you just been learning it the wrong way. Think about it. Most of us taught English in the school, but it was all about memorizing. It's all about the grammar rules. It's all about writing those essays, the reading the textbook, but it was never about actually speaking. And you know what? That's why you can understand English. When you listen to people, you know what they're talking, but when it comes to you are scared. Now you all of a sudden feel stuck. You don't know how to communicate in English. When I moved to Canada over a decade ago, as an immigrant, this is the hardest thing because on paper, I knew English, but speaking English like a native, it's a challenge that every immigrant go through. But the problem is no one teaches how you overcome that challenge. But today in this video, I am going to share why you struggle to speak English and the easy ways how you can speak with confidence. So let's go. The biggest challenge is our education system because we learn English as a subject just to pass the exam. We learn it as a part of curriculum, but we are never learning it as a tool to communicate. And what we are doing, we are trained to translate from our mother tongue instead of even thinking in English. We're scared to speak English because in the school, we are taught that mistake equals to the failure. We read, we learn English, but we don't know how to use it in the practical ways. So let's break down how can you actually learn English and how can you speak better. The tip that no one talks about it is that you cannot learn English by just translating. For example, you look at anything, you look at an object. For example, I'm sitting on a chair. If you start translating from your mother tongue, you're never going to speak properly. You almost have to start thinking in English. And there's another thing. I want you to give this challenge. Tell me in the comment section, when you have to count something, do you count in your native language or do you count in English? I'm really curious because that's what you need to change. If somebody asks you that, can you count 1 to 10 or whatever, are you counting in English or are you counting in your own language? If you notice that you're counting in your mother language, this is where you need to change it. If you want to speak better, you need to start thinking in English. This is one of the best thing that you can do, and I know the fear is going to hold you back, but if you can speak English out loud every single day, even if you have no friend, even if your parents doesn't speak English, even if you're staying alone, you can just talk to yourself. And this is exactly what I did, and I still do this date. I always talking to myself. Even when you're brushing your teeth, you can say, I am brushing my teeth. Describe your room. Describe anything that is happening around you. You can talk about your day. You can write down. And that is the point number 3. If you can do that, that would be even better. If you start writing it down English, that is also going to help you to think in English. And if you can take this challenge, that is definitely going to change how you speak just in 30 days. I want you to record video every single day, and you don't have to post anywhere. All you have to do is record yourself speak in English on any topic. It could be an apple, it could be a watch, it could be anything that you like, that you are feeling comfortable speaking for 10 minutes. Record that video every single day and rewatch it. I know that is the hardest thing. Nobody likes to watch their own videos, but I want you to do that only from the angle that you are learning about yourself. You're learning where are you making that mistake. If you can do that for 30 straight days, I guarantee you are going to speak so much better English. And during this whole experimental process, one thing that I want you to not focus on, getting everything grammatically right. And I can tell you for sure that native speaker never care about your grammar. It's your own people around you corrects the grammar. Nobody cares about it. It's all about how you communicate. The more you communicate, the more you speak the language, the more you're going to get comfortable and you're going to get better. But the less you are going to speak, you're thinking about the grammar, you're just correcting yourself and you're thinking what other people are going to say. That is what is holding you back. Because like any language, it's a confidence that builds over time. It's not by memorizing. I cannot memorize every single conversation. And think about it in your native language. Do you memorize every conversation? Hope not. I mean, that is not how we communicate, right? Same way in English. You have to just drop this idea of coming up with every single right sentence. Just go with the flow. And another way that you can do this is by watching YouTube videos, the podcast. You need to watch a lot of long conversation and then pause that video. Watch how they're speaking. Watch how they're pronouncing each word, because that is the key. If you start talking in a flat line, then it's almost sound like you are memorizing it, and that is the worst thing that you can do, and which I have seen a lot of people make this mistake. You have to watch how they are speaking the language. Record yourself in your native language and then record yourself in the English and see the difference. Are you saying it in the straight line? That is the worst thing. You want it to have in a conversation flow. Now let's talk about it. What are the biggest mistake that everybody do? And I want you to avoid this. One of the biggest reason why you're not speaking, why you're hesitating, is because you're thinking when you are going to feel confident, and when you are become confident in speaking English, that's when you're going to speak. That is actually the wrong way. You want to start speaking now. You need to build that confidence, because you're only going to learn by speaking. And the worst thing that you can do is start comparing yourself to the native speaker. You cannot compare them. Think of this way: if somebody learning your native language and you already speaking the language for 30, 40, 50 years, how other person can compare their skill to yours? The same way, when you speak English, stop comparing your English with them. Just focus on learning it. Focus, as this is a skill that you need to progress over a period of time. Have you seen kids speaking English? They don't care about the grammar, and they probably making a lot more mistake than you think. But your problem is you're just fixated on getting the grammar right. This is where you need to stop. You need to just speak. You need to focus on articulating your idea, articulating what you want to say, rather than getting fixated on the grammar. And I know during this challenge of 30 days, you are going to feel intimidated. You are going to feel like the fear is coming, and you've probably going to feel in your body. You're going to come up with excuses. And this is where you need to follow through it. The fear of making mistakes, that is quite common in anything in life, but you need to just push through it. You are worried that people are going to make fun of you. You are worried that people are going to judge you. But if you are not ready to overcome this hump, you're always going to stay on the other side. Because to me, English is just a beautiful language as any other language. It's the language that you can communicate to anyone in this world. And this is why you need to just get focused on speaking rather than getting everything right. If you can take one thing from this video, then I want you to do this practice. At the end of the day, if you can write down, if you can narrate your day to a friend, the best is you can take advantage of AI. You can just speak to ChatGPT and tell your day, and you can just speak about it, and you can tell ChatGPT and you can tell the AI to correct you anywhere that you made a mistake. So then there's no judgment. That is the one thing that I truly believe you can do. I mean, I wish like a decade ago there was no ChatGPT, and now it is so much easier to learn language than before. Hope this video is helpful, and do leave in the comment section what else that is holding you back speaking English. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.